it otherwise. Ah, hey, Maslov's coming up today. We're very honored today and privileged to have Mazzy here. Mazzy, this is
It's a Beetle day, and can you believe this? After 50 years, I can still fit in this
I.
shirt.
I'm like my mouth's like that. Come on, before we talk Beatles, let me ask you. What you mentioned fitting into the shirt. Come on, you're one of those guys. I wager, and I've seen early pictures of you. You show that always managed to stay trim, no matter what you ate.
You
Are you
know,
one of those guys?
yeah. First of all, I eat well, but it's not even that because I'll drink and I'll do things, and I got a old man tummy here, but
Oh, you
it's
gotta have
just
that.
it's the luck of or the bad luck. I mean, good luck in my case of your metabolism. It's just the way it is.
Yeah,
I'm not susceptible to gain a lot of weight,
right.
but also I move around and I keep somewhat youngish for my, considering I just turned
You,
70.
I was just,
So
I know August last month.
August 23rd, same the day John and Cynthia got married and Keith Moon's birthday.
That might also be the day that he saw the UFO.
It is. It is. See,
So
that shit. Yeah. Yeah.
that's a big,
Yeah.
that's little stuff, meaningless trivia that I know.
Exactly. So, was that in Mind Games? No, that was in Walls and Bridges. I forgot
Walls
now.
and bridges.
Yeah, Walls and Bridges.
Oh, don't tell me they're going
So,
to put the Walls and Bridges set out in a freaking UFO set. Don't please. Don't.
I recorded a video yesterday for the Harrison because I got wind of it in pictures, but I couldn't say anything about 3 days
Right.
ago, and so I pre-recorded everything except the prices. I had to get up early and show the prices this morning. So, do you know the prices and all that stuff yet?
No.
Okay, here. Do you mind if I share?
I don't mind unless you wanted to keep it for yourself on your
No, I don't.
channel.
I already posted a video like a half hour ago, so it's up. So the super deluxe, people's heads are going to explode as usual because to get the super deluxe, you're getting CDs and vinyl. Some people want one or the other, right?
Right.
So you get the 2 LP set, you get the 2 CD set, you get the Blu-ray high res Atmos, you get a 45 7-inch with Sunshine Life for Me, vocal on one side, instrumental on the other side. You get the book. There's a couple other little things about the recording document or something, and it's in a 12 by 12 slip case. 12 by 12 slip case, nice. Then there's going to be, yeah, but it's going to be the regular, like the size of an album, maybe just
because it's going to have the vinyl in it.
Yes, yes. Then you can get a 2 LP black vinyl set, and that is about, God, I did forgot what it was. That was $60 for the 2 LP set. There's a 2 CD set. Now, the LP is a new remix this year. The remix, and like Sean did, the second disc has the entire album, but alternate outtakes or different takes. So in order, in sequence. So there's not a lot of extra content. It also has Miss Odell. There's no Deep Blue on this one, like on the clamshell in 2006. The CD.
Well, that really fits the 71 because that's
yeah. But some people, everyone. Yeah. Then there's going to be a single CD for like $16, $17, which is very fair. The remix only. A single album remix only. And then there's going to be, at least for now, 3 color variations of the single vinyl. At the Harrison store, there's a purple version. And then apparently there's going to be a Barnes & Noble, I don't know what color. And there's going to be an Amazon, I don't know what color.
Here we go.
Yes. But really, when you think about it, it's actually a very modest release. And thank goodness, no Uber set.
Yeah, no, that's great. Now wait a minute. I don't think, unless I missed it, I don't think you said the price of the super deluxe.
$175.
Yeah, because somebody said that in the comments. They must have already.
It's $175, and so
that's okay. That's good. That's good I'll take that
for all that. That's fair, and that'll probably be only available at the Harrison store, I would imagine. I don't know if that's going to be available.
That's another thing. Oh no. we're gonna have to do. Oh, geez, they're gonna do that thing again where I'd say to my girlfriend, "Excuse me, could you please stop what you like? You get ready for work to smoke." I don't know when it's. Is it available now?
Yeah,
Pre-order?
it's available. It's available at the George Harrison store. Yeah, yeah. And now remember, this is the first time he's done his own stuff on BMG. He left Universal, and part of it, that's part of the delay is COVID. You know, the pandemic. It's a year later, moving to BMG. I kept hearing my friend who I heard about. This was delayed. Like I heard last fall when I was in New York about the initial thing, and they kept changing things. So Danny does seem to have changed things up. So I don't know if
Because
that.
now, because I usually am a guy. I like to go into this because some of the stores that I go to in my area, they stock things like that, so I could walk in and get it.
Yeah.
Not risk, delay by shipping or dinging the edges or something like that. But usually they're packaged well, these things. So, but I guess I'm thinking I better just stop what I'm doing at some point and order that. What is it called? I know John Lennon has the John Lennon store. What is it called? George Harrison.
George Harrison. If you go to georgeharrison.com, I mean, basically what happens, you go to georgeharrison.com, it tells you all the options, and then you can click through to their various stores, like the official Harrison store. But you're right. I don't know why it is that anytime you order from a store, it basically comes from Universal or BMG or whatever. It's not like someone at George Harrison is packing them up and shipping it out. But when you order direct from an artist's site, you always get it a week later. It's so ridiculous. They should ship it a couple days early so you get it more or less on release date.
Yeah, that I don't understand that either. And that's the thing. And when I have a channel, look, that's part of the deal. You want to try to get it as early as you can.
I used to kind of. I'm going to announce this, and I have cheated in the past where I order from a site, and then if it's something I can get through Amazon, I'll order Amazon or I'll go to my local. And then what I'll do is buy it so I have it that day. And then when the other one comes a week later, I'll ship the seal one back and trade it back. So no one's getting hurt really because it's sealed. I'm not, returning a used item.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Yeah, I mean,
you don't want to have to do that.
Should we?
Anyone records that and puts it on a loop, I'm going to deny I ever said it. So.
I don't know if it's personal or not, but do you get like complimentary from the Harrison estate?
I'm sorry. Do I get anything from Harrison? I do not. I do not.
Yeah, because as far as I know, I mean, I could be wrong, but they haven't done that yet, really.
Okay, Brooks says super deluxe set limited to 5,000 units globally. I didn't know that. I didn't.
Yeah, well, that's what it said in the article I saw. Yeah, and I'm thinking
I didn't read deep down. But
I'll get it somehow. I mean, geez, even if it should happen, like, oh my God, you can't get it. It's sold out. You just go on eBay and you're gonna pay an inflated price, but you can get it.
Yeah, well, so far, again, it's the only variants so far, at least that I heard, was Amazon, which I'm surprised Amazon has one because they're like a big box in a way. There should be, you'd think there'd be an independent store variant and then Barnes and Noble. So their chain stores get variants, which is kind of not fair. I think it should be local retailers like Record Store Day stores, things like that. But who knows? Maybe there'll be a record store day. I thought there would have been a Zoetrope because he did those Zoetrobes at Record Store Day.
So. We got a little time for the Black Friday announcements, maybe.
Right. But what surprises me, you tell me if you remember this. These two releases now, this and the Beatles Capital, a week apart they come out. That's pretty damn close.
Well, I was thinking, I said earlier on here, it's kind of unusual. They usually try not to bump heads with all the stuff together. But the thing is, I think these are both selected. I can't think of the term. Selective fans. Some people are not going to have any use or care about the U.S. Capitol albums. And some people are not going to care about George's Living in the Material World either. It's not like, I don't want the Capitol, so I'm not doing that. I'm going to get the George. Even me, even somebody like me.
This is a pretty reasonable. I mean, 175 is never cheap, but for everything included, I think it's reasonable for what it is. And then,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you get like a $16, $17 CD option. So there's room for everyone. If you don't want all the Chazarai, you could just get a single LP, the remix, or the double LP with
Right.
the outtakes.
You got a lot of choices. You got choices
Right.
if you want to pick something else. And the set does have a lot of stuff in it. It has the single in it. It also has CDs, has the vinyl. It has a book, two books, a 12-page booklet and a 60-page book. It's a
Yeah,
substantial
let's
set.
see. I have it here. Hold on a second. Photos. Just to, if anyone hasn't seen it yet, this is it. Oh, shit.
All right, let's get it. I'm going to blow this up, okay? As soon as you're ready. Yeah, that's there you go. There's the box and the book. I guess a booklet and two LPs, two CDs. Now, what's that? I see this. There were two CDs, but what's the other one? There's a CD.
That's the Blu-ray.
Oh, the Blu-ray. Okay.
And that is the 7-inch single right there.
Yeah, that's this. Yeah, that's interesting. Sunshine Life for Me single.
And then there's this this is like a track listing. I'm not quite sure what the other one is right next to it. That cover. I mean, that's just another.
It looks like
maybe
well
a cover
done
slick, like a poster. I don't know. The book looks pretty.
it's a good price for that because people are going to bitch anyway.
The book looks pretty substantial.
Yeah, that's 60-page. I think they said.
Oh, is that what? Okay.
I think. I just did a video. If I could remember what I just said. Yeah, there it is. That's the Sunshine Life for Me, Salloway Raymond.
I'm surprised though. I'm always surprised when they do a high-res Blu-ray. They can fit so much on there. On there is Sunshine Life for Me, the A side, but the B side instrumental is on there. Like, why not just throw all the audio on there? Like, come on.
Well, there's always something.
Yeah,
People always say, "Hey, wait a minute! Why'd you do that?"
And when people, I know you already got one or two comments about cash grab.
I think Peter was doing that for a joke. He knows I hate that.
Oh, I hate it too. Record company, it's their business to sell as many copies of whatever they're selling. They're literally in the business to sell records, to sell music.
It's a business. There's been cash grabs from the beginning of time. Always trying to make money. That's a business. But you get these sayings that are in vogue in new phrases.
Okay. And Joe Peter. Okay, God. No, but I get people for real saying the cash grab stuff. It's like reading the Hoffman forums and all that stuff.
Oh, they're terrible. I mean, I know you're on there a lot, but I mean, I read it. It's like, man, there's so much negativity along with the excitement all the time.
Yeah, there's always something, the thing is you have to play the averages a little bit. You can't please everybody. But I do understand the whole all this Uber. I'm glad they kind of didn't do some big Uber thing this time. I mean, I have Uber fatigue.
No, I'm glad. Well, it makes sense too. I was just going to say it makes sense because all things must pass. That's the biggie, his big masterpiece. But then again, I'm saying that, but then Mind Games did a cube, and so it's for Lennon. So
I hope they do. But I wish they would do Bangladesh. I think Bangladesh, if they can get all the rights to the other show, and that could be something really good, I think, and really special, because that's kind of hard to get. I mean, to get a good vinyl box of that, with the box intact, and it's not easy, So I think there should be a concert for Bangladesh.
I wonder if Rachel's talking about this on the show. I don't know. She's a big Beatles fan.
She's a Beatles fan, but except for Lennon, doesn't really jump in on all the solos.
That's why I say I wonder. I don't know.
I'm sure it'll come up. I'm kind of cheating on her now by being here, but I figured this is the place to be.
That's Melody has these other names, right? Apple Pits.
Hello, Melody. I forgot if he did.
Yeah, he has Apple Pits. He has Clown Fist. Uses
Okay.
3 names.
Okay.
Well, it's still supposed to be. Well, Rubber Soul. Forget Rubber Soul. Rubber Soul is next year. It's not
Yeah.
this year. If it's coming, it's next
60
year.
years. 60 years.
Yeah, and as far as it's supposed to be an anthology remaster. I've heard that pretty solid that they're going to do something with the anthology
They have
next
to
year as well.
remix everything, redo the audio. I mean, I'm sure it's been happening, but yeah.
And it's supposed to be the first U.S. visit film is supposed to come out, and I heard with extra stuff, not the same version we know.
I just think they should finish London Town and Back to the Egg, and then
I would love that, but I know my Talk More Talk co-host Tom Magnotti's given up hope on that, but I haven't given up. Now, in the back of my head, all I'm thinking is, should I? Because usually what happens is, my girlfriend will order something on a computer. I give her the cash, reimburse her. The thing is she going to do it? Do I tell her to do it or not? I don't know. It's like, would I just wait till it comes in the stores and go buy it?
I didn't read. Did anyone read if it's exclusive to George Harrison, or is it going to be available everywhere?
I don't know. Anybody know that?
Anyone find it on Amazon America yet? Because I know it's been on. There's a Japanese version with OBs apparently, and there's some people posted from, I guess, Amazon Italy. So,
by the way, yeah, I saw this too. I love that album, Hackney Diamonds. I think it's one of the best things they ever did. And it is a year later. We got a year anniversary. Come on, they have. I saw it. They have like a splatter vinyl special. Look, I'm done with a lot of that, folks. I said it. I mean it. Having said that, I still may get the translucent.
Yeah, Tom, the purple vinyl is exclusive to George Harrison. This purple single is also a variant for Barnes & Noble. I don't know if that's been announced yet. And a variant.
There we go. Tom Magnotti, if you can come up, I know that's
and an Amazon variant. So there's 3 variants at this point of the single LP, the remix only. That's actually good. Now, this is actually really fair, because if they had done the double LPs as a color variant, that would force people to buy 2 records again. And so to buy a single record's not as bad, if you know what I mean. If you're one who likes to buy the oh, here we go. Here is the purple version.
Okay, hold on. There we go. That's beautiful.
Exclusive, the purple version of the George Harrison store. There's also
it looks translucent.
Yeah, it does a little bit, doesn't it?
Doesn't look. I like the translucent ones. I'm a sucker for.
Looks like there's a poster. Now the double vinyl, it looks like it has the promo poster in it.
Yeah, that's really. I like that promo poster.
Yeah, and that's also a version. I guess it's folded, a smaller version with the CD. It looks like it's a clamshell again, the CD.
Uh-huh.
And that is $33.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually pretty fair. November 15th, it's available, and of course, all the various,
I might want to get one of those hand T-shirts.
Well, I bought the black one.
Right. I had a promo of that when the record came out, because this was 73 was my first record store job, and so I got like promos of this and the Mind Games T-shirts, but of course I don't have those anymore, unfortunately.
Tom, did you do your orders yet? You usually do.
5:30 this morning. I bought the deluxe set and the T-shirt.
Wow, look at this stuff. What a water! Oh boy, that looks nice though. I like that image with the hand. I always like that.
Yeah.
They must have heard everybody's bitching with the crate.
You think?
Yeah.
It's also not all things must pass.
That's true. That's true.
But, purple. Yeah. I got to do something here now. But you see, the thing is, now I'm like I was saying earlier, Tom, I'm like, my stores usually carry it, but so I like to order it and go into the store the day of, or maybe sometimes I even get lucky.
Well, here's the thing. Here's
Get
the
it
thing,
early.
though. You get the box set from the store, right? And then
Not my
or from
regular
the
store, by
website.
the way.
You get the box set from George from the website, and then when on the release day, or day before release day, you just go get the 2 CD set, and listen to that in the car, and then you can review it. But the box set looks great. You're gonna get the LPs in there. I can't wait to read the book. I mean, the books are always great in these box sets.
I'm a fan
well,
I'm a fan of the booklets and artwork in these things. Like that's
Yeah.
what I love about the McCartney sets. So be right back. 1 sec.
Well, the thing is, Tom, I was telling Mazzy, having the channel and all, that sometimes the deluxe set doesn't arrive the day of.
Right.
That's the reason that I'd like to go in and get it. And sometimes, again, it's not my regular store that you see in my videos, folks. They do not
Well, I know. Right.
specialize in new stuff, really. They can special order things, but there's another store, and sometimes this other store will get it a day or two early, even. So I don't know what to do. I don't want to miss out on it by not ordering.
Ask them. Well, next time you're there, ask them if they're getting the box set.
Yeah, because otherwise I got to go in there right now before work to order it. And then somebody said, "Why don't you get your own credit card?" Well,
I saw that.
I guess I do have a credit card. It's a debit card, but I mean, I have a card that I can use because I don't like to. And this is not taking advantage because my girlfriend doesn't mind using her card. I'm a little leery about it because I've been compromised a few times, but I use it when I have to, But if I can have it, not that I'm saying, oh, you do it. I want you to get compromised, babe. No, she's willing to do it. She's not afraid of it. So I say, okay, then go ahead if that's the way you feel.
I guess she doesn't have your acute awareness.
Yeah, this is true. But I don't know. I hate when this happens because I'm always like, should I go order it now? It's what happened with the cube, the lemon cube, and I regretted it. But
yeah, this isn't that though. I mean, there's no elaborate.
And I think it's fairly priced. What do you think about the cost? I think it's fair enough.
Oh yeah, I mean, there should be no bitching about this at all.
Nope.
Well, of course there's going to be.
Well, of course there will be.
There will be.
There's always bitching. People live to bitch.
But then again, at times even I do a bitch. If it's significant.
You rant. You don't bitch. You rant.
I'll
rant. But the thing is, this is not one of those rantable things.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I woke up at 5:30 this morning, and I was just like, okay, I don't see an announcement, but I'm just like, okay, let me just go check his website and see if it's up. And then sure enough, at 5:30, everything was on the website. So, I was just like, screw it, let's do it.
Well, as you said, though, that's not exclusive. The deluxe box is not exclusive to this.
It didn't say exclusive to the website, so stores should probably have it.
Yeah, and 5,000 copies. That's not.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's another reason why I wanted to pull the trigger right away because only 5,000 copies. So
only 5,000.
Oh yeah. We don't know if that's worldwide or U.S. or what.
Yeah, maybe I should let you two do the show for a moment or two while I go in and say, "Hey, babe, stop washing your hair and get ready." We gotta go on the GeorgeHarrison.com thing and order the Super Deluxe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll go to the bank and get the cash out.
and one of the shirts. Those shirts look great. I love the shirts.
Yeah, I should get the shirt.
And the thing is, lately, the last 2 times or last 3 times, really, the shirts get shipped right away. The shirts are available now, actually.
Okay.
So
we want to have that for our talk show.
Yeah. So the one hand clapping shirt and the mind game shirt, when I ordered those with the on the websites, they shipped right away.
I don't know if I put this up. I forget what I put up here. Joe, apply for some credit. I got credit. Don't worry about it there, wig boy. I know you don't. I know you don't wear a wig. I'm just playing with you. This thing here about the Peter Jackson Mal software for the Star Club tapes. Well, we'll see how that goes. First, we got to see that he can do anything with it. I heard something like it wasn't going as well. I don't know why. I think I heard that somewhere. I just dropped $150 on the first Talking Tates album set. Okay, Chauncey Phillips.
What's on that? Aside, I guess there are outtakes and stuff again.
What the Talking Heads? That's for you guys to discuss. I don't know.
It's Rhino.
Yeah, you gotta have to go to the Talking Heads forum for that.
I like that record, but I don't need a deluxe of that record.
What'd you think of the Synchronicity set there, Maz?
Pardon me?
What'd you think of the Synchronicity set?
Synchronicity, is that the Police?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if you're,
I like the Police all well and good, but I certainly don't. That's one of those bands I don't need extra shit from. I like the proper albums, and that's enough for me. Yeah,
Woodland is that's a good,
except for Dylan. Like tomorrow, Dylan, the Dylan '74 tour. First time I saw Dylan, that CD Cube comes out. And it's got 74 shows or whatever it was. I forgot. So I'm excited. I'm all in on Dylan and the Beatles, and there are a few other bands, but I don't get all the extra expanded things anymore.
Train going by. Star Club tape's not going to sell very well. Well, that's a guess. You don't know that. I don't know that. I don't really care about. I never liked the Star Club tapes. I cared about them. But the thing is, if we can do an amazing job with the quality, which I don't think can be done, but then maybe it'll be different.
That'd be a limited kind of thing. That won't really sell a huge amount. I don't think,
Oh man, am I going to order the Super Deluxe or wait? Oh, Tommy. Ooh.
I think I'm kind of surprised, and I think this Capitol box is going to do really well.
You think so? Yeah, a lot of people are saying it won't, but I think it'll do pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about. I mean, I shouldn't even worry about the sound wise, but the guy that mastered it, a lot of people don't like, because he did these Jellyfish albums last year that sound terrible, and they were all analog, Universal music again. And I love those two albums, and they've been out of print for about a decade or more, and they're terrible. And the same guy did it, and he did some jazz stuff for Verve. It's not very good. So I don't know, because these got to be third, fourth generation tapes. I mean, just because of what they are, which is fine. But I think it'll be a nice set. I just don't know if it's going to be a great sounding set. I don't know.
New album, Brooks. New album.
You think that'll be up this year?
This year? Not
I bet you they wait till the fall or to the spring.
Why? It's been 4 years. It's been 4 years.
You gotta. I don't want him hogging everything.
Well, I mean, listen. The Harrison release is the same month as the Beatles release. I mean, come on.
This is my third time addressing that, though. I don't think in the because you didn't hear me. I guess the case with that is that I don't think. I think it's mixed. I think some people are not at all interested in the U.S. albums, and some people are not at all interested in.
I raised my hand on that.
Yeah, definitely. And, and not all fans want living in a material world either. So I think that won't collide with each other, those two, really too much. But the diehards that buy everything, well, I'm a diehard and I'm not buying the U.S. set. So there you go. There you go, Woodland. But this is again more bitching. It's like if it comes all out, it's no good. If it takes too long, it's no good. If it's all together, it's no good. I mean,
you don't have to buy
2018. Yeah, 2018. 2018. We had a new Ringo album. We had the White Album box set. We had the Plastic Ono band box set, and then we had Egypt Station. 4 months in a row, we had all those releases.
And how many versions of Egypt Station did we have?
Well, not as many as McCartney 3, but enough.
The purple, the yellowish blue, and then the purplish.
The Spotify. There was the color. There was the regular black. Then there was the larger accordion. So there was at least 4 or 5. There was plenty to go around. Anyways, Joe's gonna order it right now. Looks like.
Yeah, people will wait, and you know, you can wait 6 months if you don't want something. I mean, you can kind of, most things don't sell out right away. You know, and in fact, if you wait, sometimes you can get it cheaper. It depends on what it
Well,
is. But
tell that to the people that didn't order the McCartney singles right away.
well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're still offering the All Things Must Pass crate on the George Harrison site too. You know, so that obviously didn't sell out.
Yes. Moreno, I'm coming end of October to LA. Yes. I think it's the 23rd or 24th, something like that. I just got there's a promo.
Oh, the promo's up.
You know, the video is up, and the video is terrible.
Oh,
The
the video's terrible. Yeah, that came on at midnight last night.
It's just that it doesn't have, like, this is better than the video, unless they have a new video.
So speaking of George, I did pick up the new Long Good Friday Criterion Blu-ray release, and it has the an accidental studio as a special feature. If you haven't seen that release, and Joe, I think you watched that, didn't you? The accidental studio about George's handmade films, because I think you
I saw that. It wasn't. I mean, yeah, there was some George footage in there, but
I was kind of surprised that they added that as a special feature, since it's been it's been sold on its own.
Well, you're going to see live here, folks. I gave the heads up to Ms. Mayo over there, and she's ready to go. She's just I'm going to go in there in a moment.
It's like, honey, something to order.
Yeah. And as I said, don't worry, I'm done today. Hey, I'm a retiree. I go right to the bank, take the cash right out. Okay, she's ready. Okay, hold the fort down, will you?
Great. No, Scott, I'm not the biggest Fleetwood Mac fan, so I'm not going to pick that up. I'll check what the track listing is on it. I don't think I'll be picking that up. Maybe Mazzy would. I don't know how big of a. Are you a Fleetwood Mac fan there, Maz?
Yeah, but again, I don't need expanded. You know.
Yeah.
The live.
Apparently, there's a
live. The live Fleetwood Mac I would just never listen to, and my favorite period of Fleetwood Mac is the Peter Green period. Anyway.
Gotcha. So you're right there with the original lineup.
But Rumors and Self-Titled are fine.
Yeah.
I don't like the album with Little Love. What is it called? Little Love, whatever it's called. You know, not my favorite.
Couldn't tell you. Let's see here.
Little Lies. Excuse me, Little Lies.
Oh, Little Lies. Tell me, Sweet Little Lies. Yeah.
It's a little too twee for me.
Is that the same album with Hold Me on it?
I can't remember. It's the one with all the, like, Brazilian kind of green and floral.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that record. I mean, there's a couple good tracks on it, but I love Tusk. Tusk to me is like great because it's interesting and it's creative and it's bizarre.
Sherry Carter, I like my steak medium rare.
Me too. Tango.
And I like to. What I do is I take a whole garlic clove, okay, and I throw a little oil on there. I wrap it in foil. I throw it on the grill for about 20 minutes. Let it get soft. And then while my steak is cooking, then I take the garlic clove and I squeeze it, and it becomes really soft, and you can squeeze it right out of the cloves there, and it's kind of like almost like a paste then, and I just rub it on the steak as it's cooking. let's see here. Tango in the Night. That's the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ribeyes Rule is right. My favorite steak is a 45-day dry aged ribeye. Bone in, of course. Anyways,
Did Joe go to order that thing? Is that what he was
he
doing?
sure did. So I got ELO on the 9th, October 9th. And then I got
you're going to see him live?
yeah. And then I got Morrissey in November, so I'm
Maybe.
you know, last 3 times I've seen him, he's been a good boy.
You know, still got a cough here. I am actually a Morrissey fan. I like
So
his
am I.
record. I
Yeah.
like his record still, but he's still a big wanker. But I love the Smiths. They're my favorite band of the
Oh
year.
yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
But he's still in great voice, and he's still, the songs that he does do, he'll sprinkle in maybe 3 or 4 Smith songs.
I mean, they're his songs. I hate that whole idea of not doing them just because,
Right.
He co-wrote every single one.
What else? Oh, Charlie's having ribeye tonight. All right. So what you do, Charlie, is you grab a whole garlic clove. You cut off the end piece so the garlic is exposed. Okay. Then you rub a little oil on it. You wrap it in tin foil. Okay, and then you put it on the grill or you put it in the oven for about 20 minutes, and then it softens the garlic up. All right, do this before you cook the steak. All right, take it out of the foil, let it cool down a little bit, and then when the steak is cooking, then you can pick up the clove and then you can squeeze it, and then the garlic will start coming out, and then you can rub it. You can rub it on the steak, and it's really good. The steak is then, the garlic is then soft enough, and then it's almost kind of be like a paste, if you will, while you're rubbing it on the steak. Try it out. See what you think. I might do that now tonight. Have you gotten into the Avett Brothers at all?
I have on they were on the Oh Brother were out there on comp, or not the comp. There was like a T-Bone Burnett live performance with them. Or am I thinking of the Punch Brothers? I always get, not specifically. I have none of their records.
I enjoy them. They're good. All set?
Well done. $245 for the T-shirt and the Super Deluxe.
Yeah,
Not bad
that's
at all.
about. No.
So okay.
The Harrison camp had their ears open and they listened, and I'm sure. Hey, listen, I would have thought it would have been cool if they found a way to do another big set, and I thought that would have been cool, but it wasn't meant to be.
I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, me too.
I think this is terrific because we used to say, oh, the Harrisons, they were pretty expensive for their stuff. All things must pass. Without that little box, which I think I got up there on the
There are
top.
not a lot of outtakes they could do unless they, obviously one of the takes is take 94 or something. So there's a lot of takes. At some point, do you need all that stuff? I mean,
it was Not Guilty all over again.
Yeah, I still think Sean is the most creative, most consistent of all of them. I mean, just the way the boxes are the same. I can't believe even the Beatle remix expanded sets are all different physically. It's like really a mess, personally. White Album is different than Let It Be, or Get Back is different than Sgt. Pepper, and
You're talking about the size of the box
Yeah,
set
the physical
yeah,
packages. Like
right.
how hard is it? Sean learned from Yoko that consistency design thing, and I love that.
Mm.
Yeah, Alas Cube. I knew you well. It's gone.
Well,
It's not in my house or apartment.
oh, Charlie, you're going to see Marty Stewart is so good live. I've seen him
Why is
3
this train
times.
what we're talking about? Where, where's that?
Burton
Did you
Cummings
get-
in January and Marty Stewart. Marty Stewart is a kind of a country twangy, very much like Psychedelic Birds period. He has Clarence White's Telecaster. He does kind of a birdsy, cosmic cowboy kind of music. Really good.
Mm.
Did you address, for what it's worth, the Devil Woman comment or no?
No.
What's your feel? It's not one of my favorite tracks off there. It's okay. Believe it or not, I don't love that track. I love the album, Wingo, but that's not one of my favorite tracks.
Well, the only way to get her is to get her in bed.
Yeah,
You know?
as the lyrics say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. Horns in your head. Like you got the other devil with horns in your head or on your head. Yeah, I mean it's rocking. It's an upbeat, it's up tempo. It's not bad, But of course, I know what my priorities are in life. Hey, I got them. These are priorities, man.
That's right.
So it is what it is, and I'm just glad that it's so cheap. Really, I mean, not cheap, affordable. It's right. It's fair. Cheap would be $50, but I mean, it's affordable. It's fair enough. So
I remember when I bought I think it was the Rod Stewart box set back in the late. Maybe this had to have been 89, 90 when it came out, and I'm trying to remember if that was like $55. That was a 4 CD set, and even then I thought, holy shit, this shit out quite a few bucks for this.
yeah.
Now look where we're at.
And now look where we're at. Greet Mazzy when he arrives in Los Angeles.
Yeah. I haven't flown into LA in so long. I used to, I live in San Francisco, would just drive twice a year for work, and it's like a 6-hour drive or something. It wasn't bad. But now it's too far to drive from Seattle, really.
Woodland's always a wise ass. So you're not getting the Beatles box set, which is almost the same amount of money you just spent on George. You heard right.
It's not the same amount of money.
No, it's a lot more. It's $300 and something.
Now that is the weirdest part of that box set, because if you buy the 6 albums that are available, it's $180, right? For $120 more, you get Beatles Story and the slipcase. What are they thinking?
Yeah, that's insane.
There's no book in there?
No. And which is fine. There's each album has a slip with a what's his name?
Bruce Spicer. Bruce Spicer. Yeah.
Essay, probably retaken from his books, which is fine. But for $120 for Beatles for Sale, I could see them doing that next time in 65 or 66, or do a 65-66 combo, and really kind of screwing people, right, where they put in Yesterday Today Butcher cover only in the box.
Yeah. That would, if they do that, if they do another one and they do that,
that would really get people's goat. I'd laugh. I mean, I kind of amused by this stuff. People get so upset. I get,
they do.
I don't know why it's worth getting upset. I kind of smile and,
But Woodland, really, it's so silly. I have my rationale. I have the original Capitol U.S. albums, United Artists, Hard Days, and I have all that stuff, and VG Plus, I have it in really great condition, and I'm happy with the original artifact, the antique. You know what I mean? I don't really need represses of them, so that's why I'm not getting them.
And it's $125 more for the Beatle box than the Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison. This is new stuff, new material and stuff like that. Outtakes and things like that. Yeah, save the. I was saying that with George earlier. The Uber box. Well, all things must pass is like a classic. Some people consider it the best of all solo albums. Um, but then I said, but having said that, I didn't. The cube of Mind Games kind of like went out, but everybody says cube just because of the Mind Games cube. You mean John Troppo. I mean, I would like to see all George's albums from this point on get this kind of treatment, just like this one.
Well, Gone Tropical should be like a big box of dirt, and you have to dig out the. You have to get a shovel and dig out the box set.
Yeah. Oh man. But I hope the other ones get the same treatment as this, and not 10 years from now when stuff like that.
You like to rant on certain things. The rant I like, Scott here reminds me, the rant that I like to do. I hate when people say, we don't want, we don't need.
Yeah.
Why are you speaking for we? You don't want it.
Right.
Yeah, and they do that. They say this is unnecessary.
We don't want, we don't need.
They said that about the Capitol albums. It's unnecessary. That's the stupidest thing. For you, it's unnecessary, and for me, it's kind of unnecessary. But there are people that never got them.
Think about it. Those mono Beatle albums haven't been in print since 1968. Okay, so 1968 they haven't been in mono in print. They haven't been in print in stereo. You haven't been able to get them since around 88, 89. When the CDs came out in 87, so it's not like they're doing it all the time, at that point, when they switched over to CDs, I remember going into, I bought the entire catalog. I kept them, I have them sealed, of the American Capitol records. And that would have been either the purple label or they went back to the rainbow swirl stuff. But that's, 40 something years ago. So it's not like it's something they're doing all the time. And when people say, well, it's not what the Beatles intended, it's, it's what sold more in the world than anywhere else.
I'm so tired of that. But then having said that, there are times, like depending on the situation, where I can be one of those snobby purists too. Yeah. But when it comes to the Capitol albums, there's good sequencing on a lot of the tracks.
If you only have one set, you should have the British set, obviously. That's something. But American radio in the 60s, even local radio stations would add reverb to songs on the air. They'd play a song and they'd add reverb to it. So you'd hear reverb in your car on some song that didn't have reverb and stuff. So echo and reverb. And that was the sound of AM radio.
Now, wait a minute, Mazzy, and especially since you just turned 70, you can say that you got the U.S. albums. This was your introduction, right? When did you find out about the U.K. albums, though?
I think I heard about the first one I did get end of 67. I did get an import of Sgt. Pepper, but in 68, Tower Records opened up in Fisherman's Wharf, the second tower ever. And that store, and there was a store called Gramophone, the smallest store. They got imports, and in 68 is when I first saw all the Beatle imports, and in 68 is when I ended up buying over that year all the Beatle UK imports.
Oh, I see. Because me, it wasn't until about 77 when I got the UK.
So it was 68 for me. The stereo ones. I didn't get the mono ones.
Needless to say, you were thrilled and happy with them as they were coming out.
But they were weird. It was weird listening to it because we've heard those, especially when you're that young. You hear those Beatle records all the time, like hundreds, thousands of times. So when you put on the UK for the first time, all of a sudden in your mind, you expect the next song to be X, and it's
still
not.
Happens.
And it's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
That still happens. But I try to tell people that the American albums, every bit as much of history and what was going on at the time to American audiences as it was over in England with the other stuff. I mean, that's every bit a part of their childhood, their memories, how they grew up. It's not something just to say, oh. And I love having I Call Your Name, and on a like an album, like the Beatles' second album, just for an example. That's one. where you don't, and having like something new, having, Matchbox and Slow Down and all that
And
on
you
the
keep
on an
hearing
album.
all that stuff that, well, the Beatles gave the fans in the UK more value because they didn't put the singles that you had to buy again, which is not totally true, actually.
No, it's not true.
And I liked having "I Want to Hold Your Hand" on the album
It was
on
me
the
too.
Beatles. I liked having the hit with the record, the single hit.
Yeah. As
So
an American, that's the way I used
we
to
didn't
it.
feel
That's
like
the
we
way I
got
grew up.
ripped off because you had to buy the single, or you didn't have to buy the single. But
I still think it's kind of insane. I mean, from coming from my standpoint as an American customer, sitting there, ideally you would have all of you, if you did it the right way, the way they intended. You got to extend that even to Magical Mystery Tour. You got to say, no, you're supposed to sit there with all these UK albums, a whole stack of 45s for certain songs. The way and for the Magical Mystery Tour, you got to have that EP on the side. It's like, no, it's nice to have them all on LP.
Like, as much as we like past masters and has all that, when you think about it as a flowing thing, it's not all the same period. So at least when you have "I Want to Hold Your Hand" and "Meet the Beatles," it's the same period. So it fits in with the album, where past masters, which I love those collections, but you have this kind of 8-year period of music or whatever it is.
Right. And that's the funny, screwy thing with my favorite U.S. album, "Hey Jude," because you've got a couple early tracks.
That is the weirdest. Those two songs didn't fit. That was
they're really uncomfortable on that album, but I know why they put them on there. But
right,
that was
but
weird.
The thing about the Beatles, the singles and everything, the first album did have "Love Me Do" on it, and it even says to catch your eyes, a cash grab. It says, with "Love Me Do," and it even says it, and it advertises it, and then of course, "Can't Buy Me Love" is on "A Hard Day's Night." I mean, I'm trying to think of other examples. In the UK, not always the case, but. Tom's got nice flowers.
Someone's driving with a flat tire. That's
I like the US covers. I do.
I don't. I think they're shitty.
Really?
No. Yeah, I like the. Again, I mean, when I started buying everything in '88, there was no US except for "Hey Jude" was the only US album I ever saw. Growing up in Michigan, my parents were Motown junkies, so they could give two shits about the Beatles. So I didn't grow.
You don't do the S word a lot over on Two Legs, do you?
Oh yeah, yes I do.
But anyway, continue. So
yeah, I mean, so I've really got no interest in the. I mean, obviously, did a show on the Rubber Soul, the difference between the UK and the US, and I'll agree that the US Rubber Soul is very interesting, the way they constructed that one. But other than that,
think about it. Brian Wilson always talks about Rubber Soul really influenced him to do Pet Sounds. Obviously, he heard the American one. He didn't hear
right.
So I still think that's the better version.
Me too. Well, we grew up with it. I think that's a lot to do with what you hear
flows
first.
Better.
Right.
It flows better. And not that the other songs, "Drive My Car," a great song, obviously,
And I just say, well, I don't like "Drive My Car" that much. That helps. But the thing is also, to me, I say this all the time. Having grown up with the U.S. stuff, when I got around to the UK help, side 2 is just a mess. It's just, but that's because I'm used to. I've just seen a face, and "It's Only Love" being over on Rubber Soul. But I mean, it's just a hodgepodge of stuff. Side 2.
yes, Beatle Eddie. Thursday night, I will be in the movie theater watching One Hand Clapping.
Wow, when is that? I'm going to see it Saturday, not this Saturday. What's today? Today's
Wednesday. 2 weeks, right?
Thursday.
Yeah.
No, it's next week.
A week from this weekend.
Yeah, a week from today it starts.
Yeah, I have tickets for that week. That Saturday.
Beatles 65, I'd argue, is maybe a better listen than Beatles for Sale. I don't know.
They're so close, really. And I'm one of the few people, not few people, but I love Mr. Moonlight. I love John's singing.
I enjoy it. I like it. I don't hate it like so many people do. I don't get that.
I don't know why people hate it so much. It's one of Lennon's great.
Because of the organ, they don't like that. Like,
Hammond organ.
I like it.
And the nights don't come my way.
Oh, Woodland's trying to rub it in for you. It's like you should have a big. I love it. Funny how everybody. I'm not saying you, Tom, but in general, people say, "Oh, that's not the way the Beatles intended." Oh, Capitol, they suck. But meanwhile, the whole world now uses their version of.
Well, here's the thing. But again, when I started collecting in '88, I didn't know that. So I had no idea that the Magical Mystery Tour in the UK was an EP. I didn't know that.
Because that really is the same thing. No different than what they did with their other albums, earlier albums, when they took stuff. And how did that work anyway? I should be reading more Bruce Spicer because I want to know more about. I always wonder, like, did fans that don't like the Capitol albums go on as if they just took songs deliberately? We're going to hold this back, and we're going to do that. Then we're going to put them on another album, or did they just do what they could get at the tapes they got at the time? How did it work?
Well, a couple things. First of all, they would do about 3 albums for every 2 albums the Beatles actually made, put the singles on. In America, the copyright publishing laws were different. So
different. Yeah.
You had 11 or 12 songs, you would pay less than 14 songs, and whereas different in the UK. So Capitol, the label, had to pay more publishing out of pocket. So, they did it to get more money. I mean, that's their job, to make money. And, you didn't hear a lot of overt complaints of the Beatles themselves until years later, where they said, Capitals did things. And of course, by the time they got to Pepper, there's no way they were going to. I mean, luckily it was perfect timing, changing their upping their contract.
What was it? What was it? All that malicious, or whatever word you want to use?
It wasn't. It wasn't. Supposedly Dave Dexter and Cap, they knew the American market. Now, who's to say if they had put out, Please Please Me just as is? But remember, the first single that broke was "I Want to Hold Your Hand," so they got to stick that somewhere.
Well, that's how they did things in America, and I always thought it was a good idea to sell
singles were on albums in America. You used a single to sell an album.
Yeah. Hey Jude. It's the only one I ever knew growing up.
Mine's Rubber Soul. Well, Magic
Mystery album. See, we all have a different one. Beatles second album.
I mean, Magic Mystery Tour is the obvious choice, really, because that's.
And I'm still going to defend the U.S. Revolver to the end of my days, only because in the context, not on its own. If you're just going to take the U.K. and stand it there, and you're going to take the U.S., I'll throw the U.S. in the garbage then. But when we take into consideration, you're collecting all the Beatles albums. You get Yesterday and Today first, and you have the 3 John songs that are not on the Revolver in the U.S., but you got them early. You didn't need to have them again when Revolver was finally came out. They got ahead of the Brits. Even they got those 3 songs. Mm-hmm.
It's too bad the cover, even after the Butcher cover, was so lame on Yesterday and Today.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lame cover, but they had so many alternate covers. I mean, the same session, the same picture, but different, like the blue.
Yeah.
In the back, why
it was on the 8-track? I think that was on the 8-track.
Yeah, why did they use that? But the thing is, at least we're lucky because it makes it easy to see the Butcher cover underneath.
Right.
So. But again, hey, this is what drives me crazy about people. I just explained. How did they mess up? They didn't mess anything up. They put Yesterday and Today out first. It had, I can't remember the songs. It had Anya Bird Can Sing on it, Yesterday and Today.
We Can Work It Out, Sleeping on It. Yesterday, Act Naturally.
But I mean, it had the John Lennon songs early that the rest of the world, or England, got later on Revolver. Now, when you put Revolver out, you're not going to repeat those songs? I don't understand why, and people don't understand that. They didn't mess it up, in my opinion, in my view. It's only messed up if you ignore the history and just look at the 2 album UK and US Revolver side by side. Then yeah, and if you look at it that way, it appears they messed up. But Oh, look at this guy. Yeah, look how strong an album the U.S. Revolver is without the 3 John songs. Oh, come on. It is still a strong album. You know, it didn't stop Americans from growing up with it and loving it how it was. They didn't say, oh, my God, we're
Woodland.
missing 3 songs that we already got on Yesterday and Today. They didn't know. Well, Dexter didn't do that.
Well, Dexter didn't work for United Artists when that
Yeah.
came out. Capitol acquired United Artists in the 70s. That's why it's included. And in this box, they're actually using the UA label, not the Capitol label. It was switched eventually.
And I love the United Artists Hard Day's Night. If I'm going to play Hard Day's Night, 9 times out of 10, I'll play the U.S.
I like those George Martin,
I do.
Jazzy Beatle pop.
I love those. I love Ringo's theme.
Jazz, Joe.
Yeah, that's when jazz is done right. It all together, a melody, not just what's the other guy? Hold on, folks. I'll put it up here. Don't put people waiting.
Yeah,
for
do it.
Who put this on? It's just a random selection of notes in no particular order. For fuck's sake.
It's not just improv nonsense all over. This it has a melody, but anyway, and it also has the extra line, and I'll cry instead. Okay, that's not on the UK album, for God's sake, you know. So, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
all right, I'm going to sign off here. I'm probably going.
I got to sign off too. In fact, I'm a little later than I should be. I got to be leaving at 10.
Thanks for having me. Nice to see you both.
Okay, thank you for coming up, Mazzy. And
Take
thank
care.
you, Tom, for coming up. This was a good show. So thank both of you. And thank everybody in the Peanut Gallery too.
Living in the material world,